There are various ways to read the great treatise on the stages of the path to enlightenment. If one has an understanding of the tenet systems, it broadens one's understanding of what Lama Tsongkhapa wrote. Without an understanding of the nature of reality according to the varying tenets, it would be impossible to understand what Lama Tsongkhapa is refuting. I believe, yes, and number 3 is where we begin.
Less. Lamrim Chenmo. Dits kalikapu du. Yene tsansang ngatsu lo den ngatsu tsampa the kalikapu yomare. The gari shene ngatsu kalikapu yomare tsampa. Gangin sena ngatsu the duta mawa lobjung shema son. Then the dunda rapa ngatsu dits shingdu. Yene the duta mawa shina dene the lona kakare. The lo kakare. Dene the Rinpoche, the Dutta Mawa dets la ronang, the Ewa la ronang. Yeah. That nabi Dutta Mawa le jero da.
Less so.
Shida Mawa, Dutta Bani, Timeji Dutta Mawa.
Less so. The kitchen.
Sensamba da Uma Bani the Tiba Chembi Dutta Mawa.
Less so. Okay, so when we look at the teachings of Lord Buddha and how we could categorize them or how they could be understood in a way that seem to be graduated stages. Let me start that over. If we take Lord Buddha's teachings and we try to find a way to categorize them or put them into graduated stages, the best way to do that is by using the category of 3, the teachings for beings of 3 capacities. And this is a teaching or an outline, really in a literal sense, that was passed down from Lord Atisha in the Lamp for the Path to Enlightenment through the Tibetan scholars, and then eventually Lama Tsongkhapa wrote this work, the great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment, which interpreted it. And then Lama Tsongkhapa wrote a series of other works that were smaller, that all had the same exact intent and meaning, but were just written in a more summarized format. But they all dealt with this one subject, the teachings for beings of 3 capacities. And they're as follows. So the beginning, the teachings for beings of small capacity are teachings for beings who only want to have a higher realm rebirth in their next lives. They're not looking at liberation, nirvana, or Buddhahood. They only want to have a higher realm rebirth. Not higher than now, because right now we're in the higher realms. The higher realms refers to the human realm, the demigod realm, and the God realm. So when it says that they are looking for a higher realm rebirth, it doesn't refer to higher than now. We are currently in the higher realm. It means that this or better, this or higher in terms of the 6 realms of cyclic existence. So that type of practitioner engages in going for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, engages in ethical behavior that abandons the 10 non-virtuous activities, and then if he or she wavers, acknowledges that downfall. In dependence upon those practices, he or she will achieve higher realm rebirth. The next category, the teachings shared in common with beings of medium capacity, are for beings who wish to achieve their own individual nirvana, their own liberation, not concerned with others' liberation, just concerned with their own and achieving nirvana. This type of nirvana is achieved by practicing the 3 highest higher trainings, the highest higher training in ethics, concentration, and wisdom. And in dependence upon these trainings, he or she will be able to achieve nirvana, or an individual liberation, which is an abandonment of the afflictive obstructions which bind one to cyclic existence. But the imprints of those afflictive obstructions are still present, therefore they are not omniscient. The only way to get rid of those final obscurations, which are called the obstructions to omniscience, which are the imprints of the afflictive obstructions, is to practice the stages of the path that lead to Buddhahood. And those are the teachings for beings of great capacity. And those teachings lead to Buddhahood. And those practices are a union of the practices mentioned already, coupled with the generation of bodhicitta, and then the practice of the 6 perfections. And in dependence upon those practices, he or she becomes a Buddha. So this is how all of Lord Buddha's teachings can be summarized into 3 categories. The teachings for beings of 3 capacities, those teachings that lead to the higher realms, those teachings that lead to an individual nirvana or liberation, and those teachings that lead to complete Buddhahood. And as a translator's note, Tantrayana is one of the divisions of the teachings for beings of great capacity, but this text mainly focuses on the perfection vehicle, because Lama Tsongkhapa wrote a text called the Great Treatise on the Stages of the Tantric Path to explain the tantric stages, the second half of the perfection, the second half of the Mahayana or great vehicle. So this is how you would divide the teachings by way of 3. And we would say that the medium scope, the teachings shared in common with beings of medium capacity, would be the Hinayana teachings. And the teachings for beings of great capacity would be the Mahayana teachings. And when we look at the tenet systems that I just mentioned, the 4 tenet systems, they also can be categorized. So the tenet system of the Vibhashika, which in English is called the Great Exposition School, or the Sautrantika, which in English is the Sutra School, these 2 tenets can be put into the category of the Hinayana teachings. And the Chittamantran, or mind-only school, and the Madhyamaka, the middle way school, fall into the category of the Mahayana teachings, the great vehicle teachings. So the great vehicle teachings then, and these teachings fall categorically under the teachings for beings of great capacity, and the other Hinayana approach, which we would find in the Vibhashika and Sautrantika, would fall categorically under the teachings for beings of medium capacity. So just linking the tenets with the categories and so forth. And the tenets primarily expound the view of the nature of reality, and then also other things related. So some of the tenets of the lowest school are the same in the highest school, but some are not. So it just gets subtler and subtler in terms of the view of the nature of reality as one goes from the lowest tenet to the highest. Okay, Khensur Rinpoche.
Yeah. That's no about Gajala, don't you? Chabar Jumaji Shebanes Gajala, don't you? Chabar Jua Omabata Omar Rajuva Kuni Losum Hawane Chemeride Jundeto Jayu Yon Tambale Jayu Yon Tambale Setan Demba Ranjuyan Ne Che Tuma Meji Toba Meji Ngobar Toba Medan Ranju Jimheba Setan Demba Sharibu Toba Yu Ngobar Toba Yu Meji Niji Tsuji Ne Maino Setan Demba Sharibu Toba Dan Ngobar Toba Ne Jidenji Tanya Duiji and Jundu Shubatan Laji Shungwatan Shimawatan Dajumatan Ran Sanjetan Shanchu Sambayan Jidenji Tanya Do Yiji and Tuandamba Toba Majin Ngobar Toba Mado She Somba Tato Kelang Goba Jundele Somba Tala Ranjubi Do Yishi Pawane Tejin Do Ngadunji Dona and Tuandambi Chabar Jawa Shinto Mawa Tango Tony Dunjubale Neba Jinji Yumetan Neba Nyaba Chabarjin Sanji Jidin Wankine Sonjin Yada Wankime Shedan Rishentuale Dadan Dagger Yujiba Din Tambi Dundume Jebatan, Kangi Sabin Zumbade, Jewa Demba, Kalashi Chedan, Tejin do Jundi Jiten La, Chedan Jiba Ninhayan, Tambi, Jewa Dan, Jiba Nina, Yumayi, She, Tamba Demba Dan, Yan Taba Dan Gajala, Jane, Somba Mola, Tata Maja Itse, Ne Rangi, Ngoda, Rangi, Rangi Tinichi, Truba maybe Chebar Jawan, Shedu Mongo, Budapal Lejan, Sanji Naji Chutemba, Devanila Yanda, Yiden Kundu Demba, Tambi Denji Demba, Shen Jong Yu, Tela, Jiden Ji, Kundu Demba Gan, Kangi, Bomba Yuto, Sam Mayuto, She Juba, Tenichi, Bomba, Chago, San Matsiko, She Tida, Matabayan, Jodo, Kangi Tse, Kona, Samba, Titse, Bomba Dan, Soma Ta, Tene, Daba, Shawa Yimbe, Metena, Tada, Chaba Dan, Tsiba Ta, Teba Kalanjoro, Jen, Tejin Sheba, Jiten Kundu Wangi, Tejin Sheba, Dreso, Tejin Sheba, Yangan Lendesu She, Matabayan, Jodo, Kangi Tse, Tamba, Samba, Titse, Tejin Sheba, Metena, Dreba Dan, Yangan Lendeba, Ta, Teba, Kalanjo, She Son Bishiro, Subun Dawata Bijan, Debi Jawa, Goba Ije, Jawa Dan, Goba Meba Sonte, Riba Tujubin Ribale, Naba Kanto, Zunye, Meba Tene, Cheba, Juba, Kona, Meba Jimba, Te Majiba, Kuja Mamao, Vejan, Dani Kanto, Tenjuan Meba, Naba Jaba Tenito, Majiba Mao, Tada Nito, Joa Meba, Naba Jajina, Demar Juba, Ngobar, Doba Ranjin to Inche, Jimbi Ngo, Mainte, Tene, Ngoter Maji, Ngoter Tenjin, Deba Juan, Kilambi Shiro, She Jumba, Jumatabo, Jawa, Munguba, Dembi, Jawa Gube, Tene, Cheba, Ranji Majiba, Ni Magewa Sonte, Tenile, Tishir, Tatana, Cheba Majiba, Denine, Cheba Denine, Denine, Yu Tateba Niji, Sher, Pension, Gawa Kalanjoro. What about Kalejuna?
Tatepa, Ale. Tade, Neoma, Tatepa. Okay. That's easy. Okay. Whether to add the qualification ultimate to the object of negation. So just real quickly, looking at those tenet systems again, the Madhyamaka system, this is a translator's note, the Madhyamaka system has two categories, the Madhyamika Prasangika and Madhyamika Svatantrika, with a V like SVA, Svatantrika. And the Madhyamika Svatantrika, which is the lower form of the Madhyamaka, has two categories. The one that is like the middle way, one that is like the sutra school, like tending towards that, and another that's tending towards the mind-only school. So when you see these words that are next to Madhyamaka in Sanskrit, it's just referring to a division within Madhyamaka. So just a translator's note. One is a Yogacara, Svatantrika Yogacara, and the other is, I'd have to get back to you on that. The Yogacara is the one that's like the mind-only school. Okay, whether to add the qualification ultimate to the object of negation. It is quite unreasonable to claim that adding the qualification ultimate to the object of negation is procedure only in Svatantrika Madhyamaka. So this is the lower form of Madhyamaka. It's not specifying whether it's the mind only or the sutra. It's just saying the lower. Chandrakirti's explanation of the middle way commentary cites the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra in 25,000 lines. No. Punk, everyone just read that silently to themselves. Venerable Subhuti, it is that there is no attainment and no clear knowledge. Subhuti answered, Venerable Shariputra, there is no attainment and there is no clear knowledge, but not in a dualistic sense. Venerable Shariputra, attainment and clear knowledge exist as worldly conventions. Only stream enterers, once returners, never returners, arhats, Prachika Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas exist as worldly conventions. Ultimately, however, there is no attainment and there is no clear knowledge. So here, this is talking about the 8 levels of approaching and abiding and so forth. So all these different categories that they're talking about are those, as well as, so those are the Hinayanas chart, and then the Bodhisattvas refer to the Bodhisattva vehicles. So that's what it's referring to in here. And there is no clear knowledge. Chandrakirti's explanation of the middle way commentary says that you should follow this statement. Do not claim that this is a Svatantrika Sutra. Do you claim that this is a Svatantrika Sutra? It is evident that there are a great many such cases where definitive sutras add the qualification ultimate. Also, Nagarjuna's 70 stanzas on emptiness says. So here, this is a whole debate going on about the tenets. So if you can read it just on the outer way, but the inner way would be to understand all of the tenets and what they all express, and then reading it through those lenses, and it becomes a different lens. So also Nagarjuna's 70 stanzas on emptiness says, through the force of worldly convention and not through the force of reality, the Buddha spoke of duration, production, and cessation, of existence and non-existence, of what is low, moderate, or supreme. Also Nagarjuna's precious garland says, it is said that both the self and that which belongs to the self exist. They do not exist in an ultimate sense. The Rinpoche nga de segadu, the lodru, the becha lona, the ranjupa lo, the tenjor lo kakare, the konsu sampa de donda, then konsu sampa de donda, the donda de sampa kakare, tenjor donda data, yine the konsu de sampa de data yin. Okay, I was just telling him that I always let Rinpoche know. He tells me to add a translator's note, and I tell him when I add things, so I was just letting him know about the different interpretations, and he said, yeah, exactly. Also, Nagarjuna's precious garland says, it is said that both the self and that which belongs to the self exist. They do not exist in an ultimate sense. So whatever tenet system the person belongs to, they'll read this quote and interpret it in that way. So if someone is a holder of the autonomy view, they'll read this quote and interpret the quote according to their viewpoint. And it'll be different than that of the correct viewpoint of the middle way consequence school. The middle way consequence school is the ultimately correct view, but there are holders of views lower than that would interpret this in a different way. So that's what the tenets are all about. They're different views of emptiness and of the selflessness and so forth. So because the views are different, the interpretations are different. So you'll have entire texts written about a commentary on something Nagarjuna wrote, which would be technically incorrect because it would be negated by the consequent school view. And I'm going to also, Nagarjuna's Precious Garland says, it is said that both the self and that which belongs to the self exist. They do not exist in an ultimate sense. Also, how can something be true when the seed that produces it is false? Similarly, production and disintegration appear in the illusory world, but ultimately there is no production and no disintegration. Thus, such texts often make statements in which they attach ultimately, truly, or in reality to the negation. Even when they do not add those, they very frequently add a qualification that something does not exist essentially, does not exist intrinsically, or does not exist by way of its intrinsic character. Also, Buddha Palita's commentary on the Fundamental Treatise says, Nagarjuna's Fundamental Treatise, the teachings given by the Buddhas rely wholly on the two truths, worldly conventional truths and ultimate truths. Thus, with the truth of worldly conventions, you say a pot exists or a bamboo mat exists, and that the same conventional sense you indicate that they are impermanent. The pot broke, the bamboo mat burned. When you begin to contemplate reality, pots and bamboo mats are untenable in that they are dependently imputed objects. In that case, how can it be tenable to regard them as broken or burned? Furthermore, you indicate that the impermanence of even the Tathagata through the force of the worldly conventions, the Tathagata has grown old and the Tathagata has passed from sorrow. When you contemplate the ultimate, even the Tathagata is not tenable in that case. How can his growing old and passing from sorrow be tenable? So it's just saying that the Tathagata is empty, growing old is empty, passing on to beyond sorrow is empty. That's really ultimately what it's saying here. Also, the Master Chandrakirti says that he refutes true production but does not refute mere production. His commentary on 60 stanzas of reasoning says, we do not propound that an apprehension of a reflection dependently produced and seen strictly as false is not produced in any way. However, we say that it does not occur in terms of the nature, and we propound that it does not produce in that sense. What is the nature in terms of which we say that it is not produced? A nature that you can clearly hold as a truth. However, it is not that it is not produced as something false, because we do not assert that it arises as that dependently. Thus, he does not refute production that is false, like an illusion. He does refute true production. He says that it is not contradictory to be both produced dependently and not produced intrinsically. That same text says, therefore, in this way, production and non-production have a different scope. So how can they contradict one another? Diksung Rinpoche.
Ta gajala don chabajas. Gajala don chabajas kar sungu arasana. Nga tu shiro nibul no ayes me zu mes logoro. Ne hotel gajala don chaba majana zu mes zu me pa kondo.
Right.
Gajala don chaba kanda zu nemba maruba.
Less so.
What the gajala don chabajas what.
So it's so important to understand what the object of negation is when you're doing meditation. So when we looking at the Heart Sutra says there's no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell. So what is the object of negation here? What is no? It's not negating that the existence of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, etc. It's negating the true establishment of the eye, ear, etc. So there's no negation of its existence. The object of negation is its intrinsic existence. So it's important in meditation to know what your object of meditation is. What is the correct thing to be negated? What is, in the Sutra of the Heart of Transcendent Knowledge, what is no? What does no mean? Does it mean there is no I? No, it means there is no intrinsically existent, no truly established I. Disa.
Shebatan kangite kujagi kante ne jebate zune jindu ranjin jimaji so shem heba tite gu go kala yuji tene jebatan ranjin jimaji ba gewatse bi lendo sonso omanjubale teshitene rebe ngondu ne 문제네 tini machi jine jeri sha she machi bala te kona ni ji chaba jawa da ponsu ndada tini do meji jine do traba yu ji jine traba yu ji ngobu tangji yu na mo shong padan tsomba tamen juro she shenang ki ngobu tangji te kona ni me padan tanye do yoba sombi gaja la tangji chaba ja maja wa ino do na gaja la tangji chaba ja wa joa ten mendo na tangba de dan de kunzu do de dan de shi de wo she shebe deni ji naye shara me ba yu tenda yu oma ba ne kane chang ma shebe roberto ba kona wo sesele gajala tan ji chaba joa ka ba ne daje go ba la yin je chewa tang meba ne deba dena shindu sela jundele jan seben je cheba manze ba dale mayin she shir ka ba mayin no she ka ba yin no kanji ngobu na ne tuen tang ba dale chewa mayin de yebi shir ne senje jin no she chebar do sheba di tuen tang ba she sha yu chebar tuen me to she sha wa sangba sha wo she songba tara yin no tena oma ranju ba dang oma tajo wa ni la gaja la tuen tang ji cheba jo me jo ji gu ne me je jang rang ge ngu chubi rangin tanya do go mungu ki cheba yuebe rangi nguyu chubi rangin rangi chuna la goba na tanjo wa tana tuan tamba yang taba rang denbar shebi cheba sato mungu de rangi nguyu chubi rangin yue na tuan tamba su chu gube so ranju ba na ta na tada la tuan tamba su maja na gaja ga mene be tuan tamba yang tabar denbar jo ino wen chang chinga tang chinju su chinga tang chinju su la tuan tangpa rangi nguyu chuba su ji cheba kanya ma jawa ga menu pa ne oma ba nyi mendo do oma ba nyi ge mendo do kale
Okay. 669, halfway through. Una Dundambash. I guess that's the best place to stop. All right. 669. What is the meaning? Okay. Also, we contend that dependently produced things are like reflections, not produced intrinsically. As this is the case, how can your objection stand a chance? He says this in reply to an objection that is contradictory for something that to be dependently produced and yet not produced intrinsically. Also, Chandrakirti's commentary on the Middle Way says, therefore, through such a process, you should understand that primordially, things are not produced in reality but are produced in the world. Thus, he attaches the qualification in reality to not produce. The commentary on the Middle Way also says, just as these things, pots and such, do not exist in reality, but do exist in terms of what the world understands, so it is for all things. Therefore, it does not follow Therefore, it does not follow that they are like the son of a barren woman. Thus he says that all internal and external things do not exist in reality, but do exist conventionally. Hence, he does not omit the qualification ultimately to the negation. In the negation. In brief, if you in no way accept the addition of the qualification ultimately to the negation, then you will have no way to distinguish the two truths. You will not be able to say, ultimately it is such and such, conventionally it is such and such. There is no explanation of such Madhyamaka anywhere, so it is simply a wrong idea. Chandrakirti's clear words refutes the addition of the qualification ultimately to the negation in the context of refuting production from self, not in the context of refuting mere production. This is very clear in that commentary. Also, as Chandrakirti's explanation of the Middle Way commentary says, the Master Nagarjuna refutes production from self in general without using a qualification, saying there is no production from self. There is someone, i.e., Bhava Vega, who uses the qualification, things are not produced from self ultimately because of existing like a living being. I think that this use of the qualification ultimately is senseless. So here you're seeing the scholar. Bhava Vega is one of the scholars that we have on the wall. So you see that even the high great scholars of the Nalanda tradition negate each other's views and ad absurdum, to the absurd. They basically bring it. So you'll see this, and this is talking about a being who is of the lower Madhyamaka school. So he's a middle way autonomy practitioner. Bhava Vega is. He wrote the Blaze of Reasoning. Very, very important Prajnaparamita text. But you'll see even here where Chandrakirti is completely just negating his view and saying that it's senseless, that he's using certain terminology. So consequently, we do not distinguish, here it is, Svatantrika Madhyamaka and Prasangika Madhyamaka by way of whether they add the qualification ultimately to the negation. Instead, they differ in whether they refute essential or intrinsic existence conventionally. Hence, so some of the schools state that there's a conventional inherent existence. Even the highest school, the second highest school, believes that there's some thingness in the thing that couples with the person naming it, that brings it into existence, in which there's still some lingering inherent existence in that view that isn't completely clean. Instead, they differ in whether they refute essential or intrinsic existence conventionally. Hence, when refuting the essential or intrinsic existence of internal or external phenomena, Prasangikas say that it is unnecessary to add a new qualification, such as ultimately or in reality or truly. This is because if there were essential or intrinsic existence, it would have to be established as an ultimate, etc. Svatantrikas say that if you do not attach ultimate or the like to them, then they cannot be refuted. So they add ultimately, in reality, or truly. However, neither Madhyamaka system asserts that you can refute conventionally existent things such as production, cessation, bondage, release, and so forth without adding some qualification such as ultimately or essentially. Khensur Rinpoche. Less. So here we find two categories, conventional truth and ultimate truth. So if we use the subject, we just use ourselves. So the Jeff, or that's here. This Jeff is conventional truth, the Jeff that's sitting here talking. The collection of aggregates that came together that served as a basis of designation for the naming of Jeff, that thing's in lack of inherent existence is ultimate truth. So the Jeff, or the I that is here, is conventional truth. The emptiness of the collection that comes together that serves as a basis of designation for the name Jeff is ultimate truth. But it isn't that collection that's ultimate truth. It's the lack of true existence of that collection. It's the lack of intrinsic nature that collection has. So it's basically, in short, Jeff's lack of true establishment that is ultimate truth, and Jeff is conventional truth. Jeff's emptiness is ultimate truth, and Jeff is conventional truth. Geshe Rinpoche.
Maybe the Kayina, Tela, Turn the Shiba Show, Tambane, Chuji Showa de Nika Jituno, Iana, Tambane, Matuishi, Ila Ti, Turn Yu Yimbe, Tamba, Iana, Turn Tamba, Nosun to be Ishi Tadan, Jesu Tumbi, Shirola, Turn Tamba Shesha de, Dene, Sala Suba Ta, Turn Tamba Jumayi, Shebin Deba, Tugambawa Le, Turn Tamba She Shawa, Shawala, Turn She Shawa Ne, Sheba Shawa, Yimbi Shir, Turn Taba Shawa Na, Koa Shesha Tatsiko, Tamba She Shawa Ne, Chuji Shayu, Tsigi Drayino, Turn Tanshi Duane, Turn Tamba Yin La, Tamba Yimbi Na, Turn Tamba, Yana, Tambi Turn De, Tamba Matubi, Ishi Tambi, Turn Yimbi, Turn Tamba, Yana, Turn Tamba Dan Tumba De, Turn Tamba Dan Tumba De, Jesu Tumbi, Shirola, Turn Tamba, Turn Tamba De Yebe, Turn Tamba Dan Tumba, Shesonla, Turn Tamba De Yebe, Yeba Mayin She, Sheba, Mando She, Yebe, Turn Yimba Ne, Turn Tamba Ne, Shemani De, Tenile, Unde, Turn Tamba Ne, Dada, Lotanji Le, Deba Yinla, Ngobi Ngoni, Gabane, Yegi Yu Yimbe, Tisha, Gaba Shawa, Majoran Shena, Turn Tamba Nabanide, Tela Chine, Ngobaran Dusheba, Meba, Jubi, Jiten Le, Debi Saba Mebi, Ishi Meba, Truba Meba, Niba de Ngobaran Dusheba, Mayimba Dan Cheba, Jubi, Suna Dan Ishi Tuji Jesu, Tumba, Taba Jiten Bi, Ishi Sheshawa, Truba Dan Cheba, Deta Dan Chebi, Cheba Nido, Zon Yu, Neba Medo, She Sonbe, Tekona Ni Tsujin Do, Chebi, Tusan Ji, Shiro Yenchila, Zonki, Habi, Cheba Konala Majao, Oma Nawa Le Jan, Kaya, Don't about Joa man, Joa, don't about Joa man, J, Shawa, La Suba, Pemba, Dayan, Dalayan, Turn and de Yimba, de Yanda, Shebi, Turn Tuba down, Samba down, Gomba Leshun Yu, Shiro Tanji ne, Shinji Malubi, Jen Yimbi Shir, Shinji Malubi, Jen Yimbi Shir, Turn Tamba Shishawa de, Di Turn Tamba Yimbi, Shiro, Monsun Tan, Jubi, Shebi, Cheba ne Yude, Tada Gi, Sambi Wangi, Mabon Dada Tanji, Majeba, Kona Sheba Shawo, Dena, Dereshido, Tunatamba, Jewa Mendo, Sheshawane, Dada Yantaba, Sheba Shayu, Jewa Manduba Yino, Sheba Njoro, Shesumba, Dan Tumba Nongo, Oma Jen Je, Randele Jan, Ona, Kan Jetar Meba Ni, Yin Chambala, Yan Taba Na, Sheshawa, Pende, Yan Taba Shesha Yudane, Ngabi Toji Shubi, Jesu Babe, Toba Shawa, Tekona Ni Ngu La Shade, Tekona Ni Je, Naba Jena, Don Shesha Yu, Tatsiko, Dene, Tekona Ni to Dan, Tuntambar, Shesha La Suba, Nabar Shedo, Yana, Yan Tabi Yishi, Kona, Yan Taba La Suba, Dar Jude, Ti Miba Yimbi Shiro, Yan Taba Shesha, Sambi Wangi, Ranji Meba Yinji, Kundu Ji Shebi Wangi Mayino, Shesha Tatsiko, Sheson de Ranji Mebala, Yan Taba Shizu, and Yan Taba Shizu, Cheba Jawa de Shiro Drumata, Togimbawa, Nisu Yan, Tanya do, Sonla, Cheba do, Shiro Raji Jungabi, Deba, Shiro Drumale, Dere Yan Kete, Moni, Mebani, Nina, Chetar, Ngobuni, Chetar, Ngobina, Moni, Meba, Maimbe, Tunatambala, Teniji, Tunatambala, Kuba, Tabi Jun Yudo, She Ngobula, Moni Medo, She Tanjibala, Rangi Teni Tangewa, Gay Jun Yuba, Zebi Lando, Tenile, Tunatamba, Ngoni Yuba Nido, Kilane, Ngoni Meba Nido, Tanjebi Shir, Tena Tanjebi Tunatela, Koba Matabi, Tenziji, Tunata Madruba, Ni Yimbe, Daniela Jume Toshi, Ngobana, Tunatamba Ngoni Ji, Meba Nido Debe, Koba Mataba, Jibi Shina, Tanya to Raki, Ngutubi Ngoni, Konde So, Jiba Selo, Yan Danile, Tunatamba Raki Ngobo, Ngoni, Meba Ni, Shibi Shida, Juba Cheba Jin, Temba Ni, Tuba na Jibi Shir, Pena, Juma Kenji, Tribi, Mela Suba Jino, Kale Juna.
Rinpoche, the Kanga Chena, the ne Enjike, the Rinpoche. The Tsar, the Giro,
Yeah.
Chiran, the Kanga Losun.
The that's more lona.
Yeah.
Then I got to the Ksar. Then I chua dan lenja.
Yeah.
Okay, the Chiran de lo.
Yeah.
The Rinpoche. The Kanga lo son.
Los.
Lo son.
Oh,
Okay.
the Lukangalus.
Then I the dates lo. Then the ka ro.
Okay.
The she.
Yeah.
Shiran.
Se Rajin.
Yabudu.
Rajin Gobala. Tuntambi. Cheba Neba. Ju Sir Tala. Tuntamba. Meji Biduna. Insula Jeta Yin. Chujin to Jubi. Rebe Naba Jeba Na. Te Yuba Madruba. Yuba Madruba la Sheba Ne. Lumende Tanji Tumba Yino. Tena. Lumende June. Junaso. Takona ni Tuan Jesu Tumbi. Jeba Majuba. She Gundu Jubana. Tadara Sonla. Rajin Gubi Tse Rebe Nabar Jebana Mende She Somba Moyna Tadatan Hamana Drao Wenjan Rangi Ngo Joba Intu Jebi Rebe Jesudo Kele Gumugu Mutunde Femendini Rangi Ngo Niji Joba Nila Jebi Rebe Jesuji Chebane Chabe Na Tandando Mandu Jan Chebara Tazado Sheba Mondo Sheba Taros.
Okay. Yabudu. And then I chew it on that job. Okay. What is the meaning of does not exist ultimately? Dun dampar mepa. Object here, dun, means something knowable, and highest dampa means supreme, and ultimate dun dam. Also, the dun means meaning, or yeah. Okay. Yeah, dunda means the meaning of something. Okay, something knowable and highest of. Okay, let me start here. They're doing the etymology of the word dundampar mepa. So here, object dun means something knowable and highest. Dampa means supreme, and ultimate dundam is a common locus of both. In another way, highest refers to a non-conceptual sublime wisdom, and the ultimate is the object of the highest dundam, because it is the object or domain of that. In yet another way, the wisdom concordant with the non-conceptual sublime wisdom that directly knows the ultimate is called the ultimate. Baba Vega's Heart of the Middle Way says, earth and such are not elements, ultimately. Commenting on his Blaze of Reasons says, regarding the term ultimate, dundampa, it is an object, dun, because it is something to be known, it is synonymous with something to be examined and something to be understood. Highest dampa is a term that means supreme. Joined in the compound highest object, dundam, this means that because emptiness is an object and also is the highest, it is the ultimate. In another way, ultimate means object of the highest. So these are all different scholars saying almost like what we need to do to form a lexicon and what the meaning of each word really is. So even at the point where they had one, scholars were arguing when they broke the etymology of a word down as to what the roots really meant. In another way, ultimate means object of the highest, dam pi dun, because emptiness is the object of the highest, a non-conceptual sublime wisdom. It is the ultimate. In another way,
It means that which is concordant with the ultimate, because the ultimate exists for a wisdom that is concordant with the direct knowledge of the ultimate. It is said to be concordant with the ultimate. When they say that something does not exist ultimately, or is non-existent ultimately, it has the last of these three meanings, because the same text says, Quam, the ultimate is beyond all awareness, because the refutation of an essence of things is in the realm of letters. Thus would not the refutation be non-existent for that reason? Reply, there are two types of ultimate. One of these operates without conceptual activity. It is super-mundane, stainless, and without elaborations. Second operates with conceptual activity and is concordant with the collections of merit and wisdom. It is called sublime wisdom in the world, and it does not involve elaborations. Here we hold this latter to be the qualifier in the thesis. Does not exist ultimately, so there is no fallacy. Taking this as referring to wisdom based on study and reflection properly analyzes reality into consciousness and to consciousnesses above that, it does not refer only to a noble being's post-equipoise condition. Also, Kamala Shila's illumination of the middle way says, the meaning of a statement such as production does not exist ultimately is as follows. All consciousnesses that arise from study, reflection, and meditation on reality are accurate subjects. They are therefore called ultimate, in that they are the ultimate of those consciousnesses. They differ in whether they work directly or indirectly, but the force of their thought makes it understood that all these things are strictly not produced. Therefore, we explain the phrase, production does not exist ultimately, as meaning that knowledge of reality does not exist that these things are produced, does not establish that these things are produced. This seems to agree with what is stated in Baba Vega's Blaze of Reasons. Also, Kamala Shila's commentary on the difficult points of Chandrashita's Ornament of the Middle Way says, to the Quam, in what way is it that things do not exist intrinsically? Chandrashita said, in reality, the term reality refers to the status of things just as they are, something that is known by an inference based on facts. This is the same as saying that things are empty when you analyze them just as they are. This explains the phrases in reality, ultimately, and so forth. In another way, terms such as reality may refer only to knowledge of reality because that is what it observes. Knowledge of reality, not conventional knowledge, provides the understanding that allows us to say that things do not exist intrinsically. Both Baba Vega's Lamp of Nagarjuna's fundamental treatise and the Blaze of Reason often add qualifications, such as in reality, in the absence of intrinsic existence. In particular, the Lamp for the fundamental treatise, commenting on the 15th chapter of the fundamental treatise, says, objection, if things have no essence, how can they be things? If they are things, then they are not without essence. Thus you have the fallacy of mistakenly denying those objects with the very words within your thesis. The objection is that within the thesis, things do not have essence. Baba Vega contradicts his own words. In that the same text he replies, we did not claim that things ultimately have essence and then advance the thesis of essencelessness. Therefore, we do not on that account mistakenly deny the object of our thesis. Thus, since this is not a case where the meaning of the reason is not established, we have no fault. He holds that he does not mistakenly deny things due to his assertion that things lack essence. Ultimately, so it is clear that he asserts that it would be a mistaken denial to say that they lack essence. That is, do not essentially exist. Conventionally, that same text also says. Ultimately, internal things lack essence because they are produced and also because this distinctive statement of their being produced indicates that they are contingent upon the dependent. For example, they are like human beings, etc., that a conjurer has emanated. Thus, he definitely adds the qualification ultimately in the refutation of intrinsic existence. With regard to this, all of these masters agree that something's not existing ultimately means that when a reasoning consciousness properly analyzing its ontological status places it under scrutiny, that consciousness does not establish its existence. Therefore, even the texts of Baba Vega in positing conventionalities say such things as without engaging in analysis that accords with perception of reality. When refuting intrinsic existence, they often say does not exist under rational analysis.
Thus these statements and those of the former masters are similar. However, these masters do not agree as to whether something that exists essentially must be held capable of withstanding scrutiny by rational analysis of its ontological status. As I have explained at length above, the two masters, Buddhapalita and Chandrakirti, hold something that exists essentially must be able to withstand scrutiny by rational analysis of reality, and hence must also be established ultimately. And that too. Any questions? Yes, Coleman. It's question time. Question time. No, that's Hot Diggity Dog.
Okay, so my
It's
question
breakfast
was,
time.
if like the highest yoga tantra is so rare and like there's the slogan like you can achieve enlightenment in one lifetime, I don't know if that, it's like why would you, I mean, is that just like propaganda or like why even like mention highest yoga tantra and get people's like to believe that like they can like achieve like enlightenment like that, like
Because if you study highest yoga tantra, it doesn't say that.
what's it say?
It says that it's called the resultant vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Rinpoche, so what is the question? Like, why is it?
Why is it so? I mean, I know it's
It.
trying hard.
I don't understand the question.
Yeah, man, forget it. I gotta.
Are you? Is it? Why don't we just do highest yoga tantra?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like that? Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
It's like, or
Rinpoche, the umi Ngejor Lana Mepi Ju, the Sanjay Sa Jupodro. Then Gari Shine Ngatsu Kanga Ngejor Lana Mepi Ju, the Kuna Lobjungshe. Kuna. Gari Shine Ngatsu Jipo Chungo Lobjungshe. Gari Shine Jipo Din Lobjungshe. Gari Shine Parshin Lobjungshe. Gangin Sena the Ngejor Lana Mepi Ju, the Tsotsam.
제부 중국 라든 딩 라도 맨 라멘 나 라멘 라 용화요 말이야.
Less so.
대인 소소 어디레스.
Then
아.
Okay. So without the teaching shared in common with beings of small capacity and the teaching shared in common with beings of medium capacity, it's not possible for Tantra to work. So the highest Yoga Tantra vehicle is a result of those foundational practices.
Okay. All right. Thanks for.
So certain people, so everybody in this room is at a different place within their mental continuum. So there could be somebody here who has created all of those causes previously. He or she has renunciation. He or she is a bodhisattva, because you have to have bodhicitta. You have to be a bodhisattva to enter a mandala. It's just in the texts. So when we do initiations, we're getting imprints, but we're not actually entering a mandala. We're not actually initiated into the mandala, because you can't enter a mandala unless you're a bodhisattva. So when we take an initiation, and if we aren't a bodhisattva, it's just getting us ready for when we are, so that we have connected imprints to that initiation. You know what I mean? Because it's so rare. Right. The reason we do it, even though there's no way we can practice Tantra unless we have the causes, the reason that we have the books and we read them, and the reason that we take the initiations is so that it leaves a memory, an imprint within our mental continuum of Tantra, so that we connect to it whenever the next opportunity is. That our continuum is pliant, is like ready for Tantra to actually be. Because Tantra is called the resultant vehicle. It's a result. So Tantra Tantra doesn't occur. It's something that occurs. The tantric path occurs by having all these things in line, including bodhicitta.
So that's why they're always talking about it, to put those imprints in your mind, correct? Okay, that makes perfect sense.
then the garshin ngatsu late neja lana maybe ju wongdro pakcha ngatsu nga shanchu semba mayimba den sunsa nga jinkor dro chogamare the shanchu semba mayina the jinkor dro chogamare the becha nangla de yure the shanchu semba kuna semche mena dene the wong the dro chogamare the jinkor the jinkor
senji mena on shumu shuwa tanda mares senji juma gris.
So yes, my Rinpoche is just saying that it's true that the mind that aspires to enlightenment or bodhicitta is the basis that's needed for Tantrayana. That great compassion. So the great compassion, and that then generates bodhicitta. Great compassion is a few steps. So someone has a mind that day and night thinks about how nice it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and its causes, without any exception. Like, then you decide that you will be the one that actually frees them, and then realize you can't, so you want to be a Buddha. So day and night, all you do is think about being a Buddha so you can accomplish the task of helping those beings be free from suffering. So that is the ground, or the fertile ground that's needed for Tantrayana to work. So without that, there is no way that the higher vehicles will work, but connecting to them is virtuous, because then in the future, maybe in your next life, you then have this connection to Tantrayana. You know how like right now we all have certain affinities? Certain people like cars, certain people like blue, certain people like purple. All these things are imprints that make us different. So if you have an affinity for Tantrayana, then you'll be like, hey, I like that, I want to study that. That's all.
So, like you said, I was confused about why they were so open about it, but now I understand why with the influence, right?
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
And it's actually more open. The reason that it's a problem in the West is it's very open here because we use the same language, whereas in Tibet, if they had a book on Tantra, a layperson wouldn't make any sense. The words, they'd have to look up every word in the book. They wouldn't know what it meant, whereas we can just read anything. So they would literally chant the tantric text, have no idea what it says, and they would feel they're going to get connected in that way. We as Westerners can't handle that. We can't handle chanting something we don't know the meaning of, and is we saying something bad? Like Tibetans have a lot of faith practice that they do, and it's all for the point of getting imprints.
And then like kind of was trying to almost get across too was like the danger. 'Cause I know you mentioned this
Very dangerous to practice it without being ready. But it says that when you read it. So that's the other part, that because you know the meaning of it, you can hear the part that says, you know, hey, if you don't have all this stuff, you're going to be in hell longer than you could ever imagine, the Tantra hell, where you're the shape of a deity, but you aren't in a good place. So, like, there is a good part to being able, but most people don't look at that part. They look at the sexy part. Because we're Westerners, and we're crazy. All right. It's true, though. It should have like a thing when I say the word. You should go like, Tantra. I'm serious. That's how Westerners think about it. Who's up?
So you started to answer my question already a little bit. I was wondering what it is kind of inherently about great compassion that makes it so powerful when combined with the six perfections that it'll, eliminate these imprints, like as opposed to love or other attributes. And is it more, is it true almost like, I'm going to say loosely, like from a scientific perspective, like how does it actually work that when we do things like exchanging self for others and exhibit these great compassion, things that we do, are they kind of literally eliminating imprints at that time, or is that action more creating an awareness of our selflessness?
Both.
Or both.
And that's
right.
why it's getting rid of those imprints, because it's getting rid of not only selfishness, but it's getting rid of the grasping at self, because you're starting to open up to others. But Rinpoche, Garishene, the Ninji Chenpo. So just real quickly, it's compassion is a result of love. So it's not saying that love is any less powerful, because you know what I mean. It's just compassion has love in it, and bodhicitta is a result of compassion. So it has great compassion in it. So Garishene Rinpoche, the Ninji Chenpo dan Semche, the Dot Chenpo. Garishene the Migewe Pacha, the Nyepo. Garishene Ninji Chenpo Dot Chenpo. Garishene. Shanchu J Sen. Garishene Dot Chenpo.
Sentient tantric dan sanju ko mo to ba jawo nya be sen dan sentient tantric de ngata tena nya be sentient tse yo marwa sentient tantric de ngata tena nya be sanlu de shirag ko to che ba sentient tantric de do sanju ko mo to ba jawo nya be sanlu de shirag ko to che be yin ta ano de me tu jul nya be no do was.
So the reason that it serves as such a powerful antidote is because it is such a powerful virtue. And it's such a powerful virtue because we do virtue and non-virtue usually in relation to others and how it hurts them or doesn't hurt them. So when we're looking at great compassion as a subject, we're wishing, without exception, that all sentient beings are free from suffering and the causes of suffering. So that great compassion, when we say that, it's just not just some words we read. Somebody who has that would day and night wish that this was true for every being. And because there are countless beings, because the number is so vast, and we remember in a previous class we said they use the word countless. Not because it's like, oh, well, there's no number. It's because they're trying to say it's so big. Your mind can't imagine how many sentient beings there are. So if you have a mind that's so big that it wishes that every one of those beings, from the ants to the ghosts to your enemies, to your past lives, to everyone, that they are free from suffering and the causes of suffering, that's so much power against selfishness and harming people and stealing from people and killing people. So it serves as a direct opponent because it's the exact opposite. It's concordantly opposite. So therefore it extinguishes the weaker concordantly opposite thing. So for instance, a weaker hate would get hurt by a stronger love. If you hate 4 people, but you have love for all people, then that's going to extinguish because it's so much greater. It's a bigger mind, because it's all just in your mind that it's all being worked on. So it's just a greater amount of mind then is focused on good than the bad. Now, what exactly does it get rid of? Buddha said that karma is more difficult than emptiness to understand because there's something that it links with in a dissimilar class, like its exact opposite, but what exact means is the part that's very vague and subtle because we have beginningless imprints. So we've done these harms beginninglessly, so it doesn't wipe them all out in that instance because we don't become a Buddha instantly. It just serves as one of those things that takes a little more away and a little more away and a little more away, a little more self-cherishing away, a little more grasping at self away, a little more of the hate away, a little more of attachment away. And it gets it to the point where there's nothing but virtue left. If Rinpoche said, if you have a mind that wishes, you went from a mind that just wishes that beings are free from suffering and the causes of suffering to bodhicitta that wants them all to be Buddhas. So the mind just got bigger, and that's why bodhicitta is bigger than great compassion, because great compassion just has this mind that day and night only wants beings to be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. A Hinayana Arhat gets that. An individual liberation achieves that, freedom from suffering and the causes of suffering, but they still have obstructions to omniscience. So your prayer went from having like the goal being small to the goal being the highest result it can be. You went from like hoping they can achieve at least a Hinayana state to hoping they all become Mahayana Buddhas. Because as we know, all the Hinayana foe destroyers will eventually become Buddhas. So we're wishing that everyone reaches the highest state. So great compassion wishes that they are free from suffering, which can be achieved by a Hinayana liberation. Bodhicitta wishes that they all are Buddhas. So you're wishing that not only the afflictive obstructions are removed, but the obstructions to omniscience. Then Rinpoche, they ngay this segadu, the ninji chempo do chempo. Yene shanchu je sen do sheda chempo. Gangyen sena ninji chempo the semchen tamche dungyal dan midrel. The teme da jumba de yure. The dungyal yomare. Teme da jumba dungyal yomare. Den sunsan the sanlo the ninji chempo sanlo the chikshena the dajumba the yure dungyao yomare yene the shanchu je semchen tanche sanje go then the sanlo che chembo the dungyao gaj then the teme dajumba Dungyal, the Shiji Pacha. The Dungyal Yin. Then Garshine, the Teme Da Jumba Dungyal Yure.
Shiji Pacha Yodro, Tiwong Dunga.
Then the Yene, the Korlo Yomare. CP Korlo Yomare. Kora Drusar. So the Hinayana foe destroyer, Rinpoche said, has, according to a Mahayanist, suffering still, because they have. So Rinpoche is saying the interpretation of the four. He's just giving me a gotcha, basically. The interpretation of the four immeasurables by a Mahayanist, where it says, "May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering," would be ultimately that they're a Buddha. Because a Mahayana sees the obstructions to omniscience as a form of suffering. Not cyclical suffering. They're no longer in cyclic existence, or korwa, but can be named as suffering. Not the kind of suffering we're normally talking about, but a form of suffering because they're impeded in some way. They are not omniscient. Even though they're not in cyclic existence, they're not omniscient. So Rinpoche was just saying that, well, wait a second. Guy said, if you look at the four immeasurables, that then the Ninji Chempo dans Shanchu Je Sem, the Shanchu Je Ninji Chempo yuna the Nyepo Garichesho, Nyepo Nyepo. Ninji Chempo dans Shanchu Je Sem, the Nyepo Chesho Gare. The ngay de lasan. Garshene Shanchu Je Sem.
Siyan Tanji Sanju Kumu Tuba Shao Navi, Ninji Chempo the Ti Juro, Shanchu Sen Jo.
Yene the Charan Lasun, the Semchen Tanche Dungyao Man Dan Midrawa, Shiji Pacha Dungyao. The Chipa. The Shiji Pacha, the Sanlodana, Dungyao Sanlodana, then Semche Dan Drar.
Shiji Pacha's Nyomo Pacha's Lagure. Nyomo Pacha.
Lale.
Nyomo Pacha Yozan, and could do any orders.
Less so.
And also cheat 7 to Dil Kalika and or the Dajumali Yogu.
So Rinpoche is saying that don't call them obstructions to omniscience. Call them imprints of the afflictions, and then you'll understand that they are still suffering. When you don't call them just obstructions to omniscience, you call them imprints or leftover things of afflictions. Then you'll see that they are suffering for even a Hinayana foe destroyer. It's the highest way to interpret the four immeasurables. So then I asked Rinpoche, well then you're saying that great compassion and bodhicitta are the same exact thing. And he said, no, great compassion is a cause for bodhicitta. So anyway, there's some subtle thing there. Because if you're saying that free from suffering, the causes of suffering and the obstructions to omniscience are suffering, and you're asking that they be free from the obstructions to omniscience, you're ultimately saying, may all beings become a Buddha. So you're saying the same thing, but semantics, there's some subtle difference because great compassion is the cause for the extraordinary attitude. The extraordinary attitude is the cause for bodhicitta. So there isn't this action step in great compassion is how nice it would be. The extraordinary attitude is, I will take it upon myself to do it. Then you say, oh, I can't. I'm not omniscient. And then the next step is I need to become a Buddha for the sake of making them all Buddhas. So I see how it's kind of a progression of understanding. Hey, how nice it'd be if they were free from suffering. And then you realize that suffering is all the way up to the imprints of the afflictions. And you say, I'll do it. And then you realize you can't. So that's why bodhicitta is a stronger force than great compassion. Does that answer anything or just give you a whole bunch of more words to work with? Scientific, why exactly does it do it? It never says that. It just, once it gets to that detailed point, it says it's too difficult to understand because it's so subtle. Everything is like a beginningless time, and there's something causing something that's like it, and it's just to pinpoint the exact hows and whys is difficult.
Well, part of the answer was that both. It has a physical capabilities of removing those imprints,
Yes.
and that it is a
Caught.
forming of your awareness of selflessness.
Yes, because the grasping at the self-cherishing attitude is driven by grasping at self. So when you lessen self-cherishing, if you're working with emptiness simultaneously, then it has an incredibly powerful potency. It's just very potent when you work with emptiness and bodhicitta together.
That kind of goes along, thank you, with one of my questions is, for everyone having the acquired view of the perishing aggregates as being something that was taught, as I think I remember from last week, and then the innate view of the perishing, is anyone, it seems to me that the innate view of self would be stronger and just like omnipresent. And then the acquired view, are those any easier to get rid of when we're talking about doing the practices to lessen the self-cherishing, or are they the same?
Rinpoche, the ngatsu, the chitta, luta, the niyure, lenche dang, lenche dang, I forgot the word. Hold on.
Jita lenchi dan jita kunta.
Gunta dan lenche. Then the nicha kali kapuldu, lenche dets lela, the nyepo shana.
Lenchi de chaba yoris.
Ale.
Kunta de raga yoris.
So it's the acquired is a little more coarse and easier to get rid of than the natural, which is more subtle and requires more practice or more of a advanced practice. So the acquired is something that is more coarse, surface, and the other is more, it's called innate or natural because it isn't as obvious.
So you were talking about the, I think you said there were 4 tenets today or earlier, and you, I also know there's the, you have the 4 schools of Tibetan Buddhism. You know, the Gelugpa, the Kagi, the Sakya, and the Nyingma.
Yes.
I think so if I understand right, I think all four of those schools are part of the Madhyamaka. But what about that division between the Prasangika and the Svatantrika?
All of them are different.
So
many masters, like every school has some of each.
All right.
Yeah. The Rinpoche, Kaju Nyingma Sakya Galu, the Kanga Umaranju Dang Tanjor Yorube. Yeah, all the same. Yeah, they all have the various divisions.
All right. Thank you.
And they all would, the ultimate view would be the middle way consequence school for all of them. Now, there are definitely debates as to whether people who think they have a prasangika view do or don't. That's all. So not everyone who says it's a prasangika view that you read a book of is necessarily one. That's all. Because like some of the like back then they weren't like Baba Vega wasn't like, oh, I'm a lower view, like I hold this and it's true. It was just what they thought was the ultimate view. You know what I mean? These divisions were kind of made to sort out the differences in their views and their subtleties. So at the time they thought, Baba Vega thought that he was the highest. And Chandrakirti, that's why they talk like this. Like, it's absurd what he's saying. Like, because they were all just each other's, you know, contemporaries. I always get that, peers. We did this last night. Yes. Oh, that's it. Right.
I was reading a text, and it was about cyclical existence.
Yep, I have hard with that time with that word. Cyclical. I can't even. Cyclical.
Oh,
is that it?
Cyclical.
Yeah. Cyclical.
Yeah,
Did I do it?
Right.
Cyclical, everybody.
Yeah,
That's how you say it.
Existence.
I don't know why you're having a hard time with it. I'm joking.
Well,
I just did. It's my joke on myself.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on. Now, a thought came to mind about people who commit suicide. And generally, people who commit suicide want to escape this life. And I had a feeling of compassion for them, pretty deep compassion, because there is no escape. They're going to carry it on, that imprint. They're going to have to work it through eventually.
And have then committed killing a human being. Also, right. Then I have to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Right. So what came to mind also was in the intermediate state, is there possibility of work, of study, of development? Or is that, because I've heard that possibility, and I just wanted to know about it, if it exists.
My question is this, so how does that relate to the suicide? There are beings who are very highly developed that can, in the intermediate state, actually become enlightened. It's said that Lama Tsongkhapa is an example of someone who became a Buddha, I believe. Rinpoche, the Lama Tsongkhapa, the Bardu Shanchu. J. Rinpoche. Yeah, became a Buddha in the intermediate state, according to some literature. So yes, you can, if you're highly realized, you can, while you're dreaming, or you can do practice, because there's similarities. At the time of death, through the dissolution of the elements, you can practice, and then into the intermediate state, when the consciousness leaves through the crown, or whichever way the consciousness leaves, that being, into the intermediate state, that practitioner can follow that his or her consciousness. But someone who has killed themselves probably isn't realized, so probably can't. So that's the ranse, the ransena, because when that being enters the intermediate state, they're already taking the form of their next life and don't remember anything from this life if they're not realized. You know what I mean? So
Well,
now I'm going back to the person who's killed themselves. If they've killed themselves, chances are they're probably not realized. Even the Dalai Lama's been asked about the monks who've lit themselves on fire, and he says that they couldn't have been, because they wouldn't have killed a human being in front of others to see. If they really, because the human body is so rare, and it's such just a short opportunity we have to practice, and to take that chance away and to show others that that's what you should do can't be right. So someone who has killed themselves, chances are they aren't realized, and they'll immediately take on the form of whatever their karma throws them into next, and then in the future will have to experience the consequences of killing a human being. Because that's what the Buddha said, that killing yourself is killing a human being. Separating one's life force is killing, and when you kill yourself, you do that. So I don't know if that answers any of that, but the ran sena, the kong sampa, the me kashe, the dungyal sheda chembo yure, then sansan kong ran segudu, then konso bardo drogudu, kon triwa chik shena, then the kon sem, the chipo shagdu, gangin serna, the chik shena kon bardo la lobjong she, then nga rang seisong, the yapi omare, then a chik shena konso the pentogudu, the yomare. So Rinpoche said when someone kills themselves, they create a great misdeed because they've killed a human. Dene? Nga de lapsam.
Tako de ngazon jimaji tuzon res. Ta ya no kashi ya shikalam de padul gawang de jobaina denu rogres madal halchen rogres. Nagoji.
So some will say that it's immediately you're born into a lower realm, but then others argue that there are other imprints that conditionally can rise in the intermediate state of virtue that then would allow that being to have a higher realm rebirth and not have any kind of experience that's connected to the killing of themselves in that next life. Because that killing of themselves, they could experience the non-virtue, they could experience the result of that non-virtue 1,000 lifetimes later. It wouldn't necessarily have to be the next life. It doesn't happen in like that, in then this, then that, then this because of that. At the time of death, they may be happy because they think they're ending something out of ignorance. They might be joyful when they kill themselves. Who knows? Like, finally it's ending, and that joy then connects to some sort of other karma that's unrelated. So it's very, very complex, is the answer, the thing. But yes, we should have the ultimate amount of compassion for somebody who's in that much pain. I mean, to want to end this life, that's so much pain. But yeah, working in the intermediate state is very difficult because the intermediate state is very scary and moving very fast, and you have a body that goes through walls. It's not a body that's solid, and you literally would have to, if you're going to be born in India, you travel, you know what I mean, from here to there through like. Ask Geshe Lharampa a question. He's a scholar. Anyone? Everybody's tired. Okay, we'll just stand.
One more question.
Let's just stand.
Yes. So
On the subject, I was just thinking about what she said, and deliberately, how deliberately taking your own life leads to unfavorable rebirth. But what if you wanted to, let's say you set the intention to expedite circumstances into a more favorable birth. So you're not going to go out and take your life, but you're going to, let's say you gave your possessions away, and you went to Dharmasala, and you waited for one of these monks who could obviously these well-attained monks who could obviously do a much better job of liberating other beings than you could to get sick, and then you rush to be the first in line to donate your heart or something like that. Would that work as a sort of guaranteed way of getting a more favorable rebirth if you just want to make that process as
You'd
fast
have to
as
be
possible?
omniscient to know that monk might go crazy the next day and just start doing. It happens, first of all, like monks who are like scholars lose their minds all of a sudden, and so that doesn't fly. You might be a much more virtuous person than the most famous monk in the world right now. You just don't know it or think it or whatever. So no, there's no sense in. I'm not even gonna ask that. I'll ask that, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Geshe La, the Kongichua, the Rangse the Sheda, the Dikpa Chempo. Yene, the Chikshena, the Lama Chembo, Ni Gugudu. Then Lama Chembo, the Getru Mambo du, the Mbecha Mambo Trigudu, then Chikshena, Nga, the Nigu, Chikshena Kon Ni Natsa Yure, the Sanodan, the Chikshena, the Kedrak Chempo Lama, they don't do well with these examples of things that don't exist, by the way. They can never understand. They always think, what teacher needs a heart? So I'm just telling you, they never get imaginary stuff. They're just not, they don't know why. Dit Salodan, the Nyune Yomare, Chikshena de Lama Chembo Ni Gugudu, Ni Natsa Yure. Then nga ni Yapo Yure. Then Chik nga me ducha. Nga de Suchupa Dangoma Goken. Then nge Salo, nga Sheda ducha yen. De Lama Chembo Sheda Yapo du. Nge ni kon tena kon gewa mambo sagare. Nge ni gewa nga nangla gewa sagamare. Gangin sena nga me ducha. Then chik shena de rang se gangin sena nga ni tena nge shigare. Yene de lama chembo chik shena becha mambo trigare. Then e chiran salo gar yube. Rang se na chik shena gewa yen. Then nge lenjason. Nge this segadu. Chik shena lama chembo sanyi nyomba chagare. Then chik shena cherang sanyi dopa chagare. Then the tomba ni lobjung she then tonlan le. Then ngatsu hako gamari. Then namshe mena. Then cheran lenjagare. Lesso. 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 Then so the person, if the person ordered you to do it, they would be committing killing too. So for instance, if they said, hey, give me your heart, the Lama would be committing killing. So kind of letting it happen, and I've got some other arguments about eating meat if we're going to go with that, but that's fine. Letting it happen would be a form of killing, so the teacher wouldn't allow that in the first place. But you doing that, you don't know if it's going to help the teacher or not. You don't even know if your heart's going to work. So you might end up both dying. So there's so much uncertainty that it's definitely just committing killing of a human being and non-virtue.
Thank you.
Good motivation. There were two things would occur, though. Two karmas would be going on. If the motivation was as pure as you're saying, there'd be virtue there. But you'd also get a karma for killing. So two things would happen. Ngay tsampa le ni.
The sanlo nga the sanlo dang the sheda pentogdu the nampichu sheda yabudu nga ni tena dene the nampichu the becha mambo tree the gewa yen yene rangse me gewa le ni re yeah. So the motivation is a virtue. It depends on the motivation, but the action is killing. So in order to commit a full killing, you have to have like the motivation to kill. You have to establish a being as something that can be killed. You have to kill it and then rejoice in having killed it. That's a full killing. If any of those components are missing, it's not a full killing.
So when I found a cockroach in my room last night, and I said, so if I did end up, I'm good with ants. I've been very good with flies, but I don't like cockroaches. So
okay,
and I killed the thing.
Okay,
but I felt so because I didn't rejoice in killing it, I didn't get the karma for killing it.
No, it was less karma. You killed,
Less
but less karma. It wasn't a complete karma.
All right,
not a complete. The kasang kon bu, kamba nang la bu yure, then bu chembo, then a kon bu seison, then a kon the jesun yeranwa yomare, kon the sem the chipo yomare, nga me gewa sason. Then nge segudu the su chupa jesu yeranwa gu, the kanga, kon su chuson yene jesu yeranwa mason, then jipa damason, then the dipa chembo yomare, dipa che sho yomare, gangisena jesu yeranwa yomare, rebe. Tambo ducha gu, dene this semchen yin, dene suchu na, dene jesu yeranwa. So it's much less misdeed, Rinpoche said, because you did not rejoice. Because you felt bad. Okay, concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. Thank you, everybody, again. Yeah, make sure you always ask the questions, because we also are videotaping, and you have people out there that are thinking also, and that have questions, and you never know if your question's the same as someone else's question that's watching this out there, and maybe it'll help clear up something that they needed cleared up. So if you've thought of it, someone else probably has too. So don't ever hesitate to ask something. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drapa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the Hero Manjushri, likewise Samantabhadra as well. With whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times, I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, the spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Suji Rinpoche Gutsi Shapi Denonang, Atsu Lamrim Chenmo Kanga Chironang, Dang Uman Chupanang, Sawa Shera Kanga Chironang.